Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh, Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs, Government of India. Mr. Harsh V. Shingla, Chief Coordinator of India G20 Presidency. Mr. Muktesh K. Pardeshi, OSD G20 Operations. Mr. Davesh Deval, Resident Commissioner, Government of Manipur. Mr. Ashwani Kumar Chand, Resident Commissioner, Government of Sikkim. Mr. Amjad Tak, Resident Commissioner, Government of Mizoram. Mr. Abhijit Sinha, Home Commissioner, Government of Nagaland. Ambassadors, senior officials from embassies who have joined in person and through video conferencing. Distinguished guests from bilateral and multilateral agencies, industry members, representative of media, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. The Group of 20, G20, is a premier forum for international economic cooperation. It plays an important role in shaping and strengthening global architecture and governance on all major international economic issues. India holds the presidency of G20 from 1st December 22 to 30th November 23. The Business 20 is a group that represents the private sector within the group of G20. The B20 was established to provide a platform for the business community to engage with the G20 and to offer recommendations on policies that can support global economic growth and development. Confederation of Indian Industry is designated by the Government of India as a Secretariat for G20 under the presidency of G20 Forum. To explore partnership among business communities from G20 members towards developing a common agenda for development of critical sectors of the economy as a growth driver, CIA is organizing B20 programs in Northeast region of India in partnership with the Ministry of External Affairs and Northeast state governments. Northeastern region of India is poised to play a crucial role in India's growth journey. As you are aware, Northeast India comprises 8 states and is a rich reservoir of culture, heritage, natural resources. It is one of the developing regions in India, contributing to around 3% of the GDP. Accounting for 7.8% of the land area, the region has a potential to develop into a commercial and manufacturing hub. Further, the strategic geographic location of the Northeast makes it India's gateway to Southeastern Asia to enable stronger business and cultural ties. The region is strategically located, and this is proving helpful in developing the Northeast as a base for boosting links with ASEAN countries, in addition to Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Japan. The trade potentiality of the region lies in its strength in agro and forest-based, mining and mineral-based, and services-based industries. CIA recognizes the various initiatives taken by Government of India to promote all-round development of Northeast region. CIA applauds the deep focus of Honorable Prime Minister in Northeast following the Act East policy and the central government's effort to improving the economic and infrastructure development in the region. Under the aegis of government's Act East policy, Northeast India is at the cusp of unprecedented growth, making it an attractive emerging market for global investors. The trade potentiality of the region lies in the strength in agro and forest-based, mining and mineral-based and services-based industries. As some of us may be aware, CIA has been operating in Northeast India for its regional headquarters in Guwahati for over 3 decades. CII today has 5 offices in Northeast at Guwahati, Kohima, Agartala, Aizawl, and Siliguri, and have established state councils and regional councils in the Northeast. I am happy to inform you that CII is in process of opening more offices in Northeast at Dimapur and Imphal. Over the last 20 years, the CIA has taken a wide range of initiatives to promote economic and social development of the Northeast states. We have been giving emphasis to improve market access, international trade, and for promoting agrarian-based industries such as bamboo, tea, rubber, agarwood, etc., and also tourism, healthcare, and ICT sector. The Northeast being strategically located with access to traditional domestic market of Eastern India, along with proximity to the major states, the East and adjacent consumer markets of Bhutan, Nepal, and Bangladesh and Myanmar. The region has the potential to be the economic powerhouse. The B20 conferences will showcase the potential of Northeast region, offers for investment for global and local investors. The respective state governments in Northeast states where the B20 events are scheduled are making elaborate arrangements to host the delegates. Hotel arrangements, chartered flights, excursion trips to some of the exotic locations are being planned during B20 events. CIA is working closely with the G20 Secretariat and state governments to make the event a grand success, as this would be a unique opportunity to project Northeast to the world. I'm happy to mention that in today's program, we have participation of senior officials from 22 G20 countries, 16 bilateral and multilateral agencies in person, and we have virtual participation from Indian missions based at 11 G20 countries. I would now invite Brigadier Ashish Bhattacharya to make a presentation regarding B20 conferences being planned in Northeast. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Honorable Minister, sir, senior officials on the dais and on the video conference, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a good afternoon to you all. Without wasting much time, I would straight away come to the main presentation. Now, as far as the B20 India initiatives in the Northeast states are concerned, the Government of India plans to make this a uniquely Indian experience, which will be inclusive, ambitious, decisive, and action-oriented. Now, keeping that in mind, we have 4 of these events planned out in the Northeast, which have been curated around some central themes, in addition to the state-specific themes that will always be there. The 4 locations are Imphal, Mizoram, Gangtok, and Kohima in Nagaland. The dates of the B20 conferences are 17th February in Imphal in Manipur. And here the focus area would be opportunities for multilateral business partnerships in ICT, medical tourism, healthcare, and handlooms. On the 2nd of March, we have the B20 meeting at Aizawl, which is in Mizoram. And in this, we would focus on opportunities for multilateral business partnerships in urban planning, infrastructure, and skill development. On the 16th of March, we will have this B20 meeting at Gangtok in Sikkim. And here, our focus would be on the opportunities for multilateral business partnerships in tourism, hospitality, pharmaceuticals, and organic farming. And for the 5th April B20 event in Kohima, Nagaland, we will focus on opportunities for business partnerships in agriculture and food processing. The facilities that are being offered to the participating delegates include a chartered flight to and from, or from and to Delhi. Now, this is unique for all the B20 events in the Northeast region. In addition, food and accommodation, local transportation, visit to excursion sites, and cultural evenings and dinner are planned along with the B20 meeting. Only one aspect I may bring out is that the facilities will be offered to those delegates who register their participation within the last date of registration, subject to the minimum participants opting for chartered flights. We would anyway urge everyone to please take their flights from Delhi so that the flight patterns to Northeast, we could obviate that, and we could get there in time for attending all the important events there. Now, the first event in Manipur, which is planned for the 17th to 19th of February, where we are focusing on ICT, medical tourism, healthcare, and handloom. Let me just touch upon a few highlights of the focus area. And firstly, as far as the ICT is concerned, India is world's #2 largest telecom market in the world. And the Indian ICT industry is the fastest growing in the country, and that we are all aware. Now, within this, the opportunities thrown up by people who are rising to the occasion, especially startups and innovators, are tremendous. And there is a vast population of technically qualified, innovative people waiting there for taking off. And this is true for the entire Northeast. Coming to medical tourism, we have approximately 2 million patients visiting India each year from 78 countries. And medical tourism itself is expected to reach about 13 billion by 2026. And this too is affordable super specialty facilities, which is available in many of the centers of excellence in Northeast region, hold immense potential for delegates to look at. Handloom products, you would be aware that handloom products are more or less vanishing from rest of the world. However, India stands strong in the handloom production in the world. It is, if I may put it, employing about 43 million people, out of which 77% are women. So this not only gives them a subsistence and livelihood at the grassroots level, but also helps the women empowerment in a very, very big way. The share of Indian handloom fabric in the world today is 95%, which is really, really big. And it is exported to over 125 countries in the world. And Manipur, by the way, has the highest number of home looms in India. So from that point of view, this is a focus area there, justifies itself. Coming to Mizoram, As per the World Bank estimates, India will need to invest about 840 billion over the next 15 years into urban infrastructure to effectively meet the needs of the fast-growing urban population. And the government of India is spending big time into developing this side for greener and smarter cities and urban hubs. And the opportunities again in the Northeast in this field in this sector is tremendous. As far as skill development is concerned, 69% of the employers globally are struggling to find workers with the right kind of skills. And this is where skill development takes a center stage. Against a number of 12.8 million workers that annually enter the Indian workforce, the existing capacity of skill development program is only 3 million per annum. Many countries in the Southeast Asian region and also in Europe have put in a lot of effort to bring up the Northeast region's skill levels, and we are happy to note that many of them are finding very good employment all over the world. Now, this program is on the 1st of March, the arrival at Aizawl. There is a sightseeing at Rake Peak. There's a welcome dinner the same day. The next day, we have a sightseeing program followed by a B20 conference. And if you see bullet 3, a meeting with Shri Hardeep Singh Puri is planned, who is the Minister, Honorable Minister for Housing and Urban Affairs, Government of India. And this will be in the Mizoram State University Auditorium. This would be followed by a cultural event and a dinner in the same university area. Departure is on the 3rd of March, 2023. Coming to Sikkim, the focus area is on multilateral business partnerships in tourism, hospitality, pharmaceuticals, and organic farming. All of us are aware of the rich heritage and scenic beauties in Sikkim, which makes it a very favored tourist destination. And as you are all aware, the footprints of on this side of the heritage and beauty, scenic beauty wise, India stands at a very high pedestal in the world. Over the last about 4 years, if you see 2014 to 15, where we have some good figures, 50% growth has taken place in the tourism industry in Sikkim alone. Places like Rumtek Monastery and Changu Lake are there on the show. India is the 5th in world organic agricultural land holding, and the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization has recognized Sikkim as the world's first organic state. And this is where we will hold the the second meeting on the 15th to 19th of March, 2023. Also, we'll be touching upon the organic farming part of I would say the portion there in Sikkim, and the state government would put up a lot of these opportunities and the incentives that they have in the taxation and the other climatic advantage that they have over setting up pharmaceutical industries as well. In this, the arrival at Gangtok would be at Bagdogra Airport, which is in the foothills of the Himalayas, and from there, currently we plan to take them by road to Gangtok. Thereafter, on the 16th of March, the B20 conference would take place, and after the inaugural session and the plenary session, we are expecting Shri G. Kishan Reddy, the Honorable Minister of Tourism and Culture of Donor, Government of India, to be interacting with the delegates there. We have a visit to the Rumtek Monastery, famous Rumtek Monastery, followed by a cultural event and a dinner at the Mayfair Hotel itself, where all of you would be staying. On the 4th of April, to the 6th, a conference of B20 is planned in Nagaland. And Nagaland has got one of the most, I would say, forested areas in the Northeast area, the Northeast region. And there's expertise in many of these exotic horticultural produce like pineapples, kiwis, jackfruit, and dragon fruit is famous. Coming to the program per se, arrival at Kohima would be at Dimapur would be on the 4th, and thereafter we have to travel by road to Kohima. There's a lunch planned at Naithu Resort, which is en route between Dimapur and Kohima. In the evening, we have a dinner and a cultural program lined up. On the 5th, the morning starts with a Business 20 conference. And at the end of the conference, we have an interactive session with the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Mr. G. Kishan Reddy, the Tourism Minister and the Minister for Donor. In the evening, gentlemen, we have a mini Hornbill Festival recreated in Kisama village, where the delegates would be visiting the World War II museum. There would be a sightseeing of the heritage village, Kisama itself, followed by a cultural program. And this will be followed by a gala dinner. The next day, 6th, after a visit to the war cemetery, there is a plan to visit, to depart for Dimapur, from where the chartered flight will take off for Delhi. At the end, gentlemen, we invite participation of senior officials from diplomatic missions in India, participation of the representatives from multilateral and bilateral agencies. We are inviting the business and trade missions to participate in the B20 initiatives in the Northeast states. And we invite support to invite relevant stakeholders from G20 and guest countries. We will be providing the communication toolkit, which is ready with us. Thank you very much. Having seen the overall program structure, we will have a look at the state-specific programs. And towards this, can I request, in the order of the events that are being held in the Northeast, I first call upon Mr. Devesh Deval, the Resident Commissioner, Government of Manipur, for sharing his thoughts on the event in the state.
Honorable Union Minister of State for External Affairs and Education, Dr. R.K. Ranjan Singh, respected Chief Coordinator G20, Dr. Shri Harshvardhan Shringla sir, respected Joint Secretary and OSD for G20, Pardesi sir, Shri Bagla, Chair with CII, our esteemed guests from various foreign missions, partners from bilateral and multilateral agencies, and officers from Indian Mission who have joined us online, and my colleague officers from various governments in the Northeast. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. Let me start by saying that it's a matter of privilege for us to be present here, and we are grateful to CII for this opportunity. Friends, when we talk of trade and investment in the Indian context, normally Northeast is not the first place which comes to your mind, you know. But when we talk of a global, a bigger economy, inclusive development, prosperity, and with the focus of the government of India on Act East India and Act East policy, the Northeast India becomes very, very strategic. And that is why I think we have this session. The whole country is energized with the onset of G20 presidency, and we are waiting in avid anticipation. And we look forward to the various set of activities that are planned in the Northeast. I think we just missed in the presentation the activities which are planned at Manipur. So I'll just reiterate briefly. The dates are 17th to 19th of February. 17th is arrival, and the 17th itself after the lunch, we have a Business 20 conference. The venue would be City Convention Center, and all the relevant departments as per the focus areas would be present there. So we hope that it would be a very, very meaningful interaction. And the state really would be looking forward, because it will be a great opportunity to have a participation at this level where the partners from national, international agencies are participating. So that would be something which we look forward to. That is day one. In the evening, so we have a cultural program and dinner. The next day would be mostly excursion. Manipur, friends, I'll say it's a small state, only some 22,000 square kilometers, but it packs in a lot of culture and a lot of nature. There are 34 recognized tribes, and you have to go in to see the culture. It's really, really breathtaking. The level of evolvement it has attained, the diversity it has in terms of classical and the folk culture. It is really something really which you'll appreciate. So we have lined up a lot of cultural programs, and the second day would be excursion. The first one starts with a visit to Marjing Polo statue. It's on a hilltop. It is recently inaugurated in the first week of January. You must be aware Manipur gave to the world this game of polo, and this the statue commemorates that only. So it is the local deity who presides over the polo game. The statue in his regard has been erected there. So that would be the first visit. And then there would be visit to Loktak Lake, which is a beautiful lake, and which also boasts of the only floating island in the world, the Kebul Lamjau National Park. And then there is an ethnic park there. So you'll get a taste of the variety of the tribes in Manipur, their lifestyle, their culture, their dances, their food. You'll get a taste of Manipur during that visit. And then we have and I think, that is for day two. And Moirang is one, INA headquarters. This is the place where Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose unfurled the tricolor for the first time on Indian mainland. Actually, it was Andaman and Nicobar, but if you talk of mainland, it was Manipur. And recently, again, a new headquarters has been inaugurated there. So that also would be a great place to visit and part of the program. And the evening, there's a dinner followed by a cultural program. And on the 19th, which is the third day, the delegation would be again, I think, proceeding to Delhi. And it's all arrangement through a chartered flight. So that's what the program looks like. And of course, I mean, needless to say, we are very excited at the state level, and we would make our best arrangements so that the program goes through very well. Now, just coming to, I mean, since I'm representing my state, I'll just like to briefly mention what are the strengths of Manipur and what can we offer to the business community. So friends, you must be aware, among the northeastern states also, Manipur is at the eastern edge. We share borders with Myanmar, almost some 400 kilometers. And we have the authorized land port station with Myanmar. We have a border trade. Of course, for the last 3 years, because of this onset of COVID pandemic, the border is closed. But then we have a very good route. And the Asian highway passes through More, which is on the Indian side, and Tamu on the Myanmar side. So this highway travels right from India and perhaps northwestern part of country, all the way till Myanmar, Thailand, and further ahead to Southeast Asia. So the strength of Manipur lies in its connectivity, in its location. It is the gateway to Southeast Asia. And, these setbacks that we talk of are temporary, but if we think in the long term, the advantage is there for the taking. Mandalay, which is the second largest town of Myanmar, is just like an overnight drive from Manipur, 12 hours. And a truckload will not take more than 24 hours to reach there. And then further ahead, we have Thailand, Indonesia, and the entire Asian countries are there. So that would be a big advantage of Manipur, and we'd like to posit that. Secondly, the strength of Manipur, and that is true, I think, entirely for the most of the other northern states also, is organic farming. We heard just now Sikkim is the totally organic state, and other states also following suit. So we have, our strength is the climate and the soil conditions, and we really grow a lot of good fruits. There are a lot of GI tags that we have taken. The oranges, the pineapple, kiwi, avocado, they are all really, they're not very well known outside the state. I mean, because the production base is very small, they're not become very popular, but the quality is excellent. It is the topmost level. I would not be afraid to say it is as good as it gets at the global level. It's just a matter of right branding, marketing, and taking it to the world. So horticulture products are definitely very good. We also grow black rice, which is again kind of unique in the world. We have GI tag for that also. And that again, we are discovering the health benefits of black rice. We have king chili, which is the hottest chili in the world, they say. So that again is something which is very nice. So, I mean, in agriculture products, the state has a lot to offer. Then we have lots of medicinal plants, flowers also. The potential I'm talking of is what is our area to focus on. The present base may not be very encouraging, but what we are looking forward to in the next 3 to 4 years is almost tripling or quadrupling our base of production and also the output. So another sector I would say is biotechnology. So those firms and companies which want to work in the field of nutraceuticals or taking the life science to basically from lab to the field and to the market, I think they would be very welcome. They would love to have a place like Manipur with all its kind of bioresources. It also falls in that Indo-Burma biodiversity hotspot. So that would be another sector which is very, very rich and offers a lot of prospects. Another sector just mentioned here was handicrafts and handlooms. Manipur has the highest, in terms of per capita density, it has the highest concentration of handlooms in country. And its products are again very, very nice. They're very exotic and they are really the topmost order. And I think we have already tied up at the state level with our e-commerce platform so as to take them to the world. And I think any kind of investment in this sector would be very welcome. Handloom sector is really the strength of the state. Healthcare, we are very well placed for a small state like Manipur. We are a good number of doctors and allied healthcare professionals that we produce. They are very well trained. Our nurses and our healthcare professionals are really of very good quality. With the right kind of training, they can really serve the needs of our country and maybe abroad also. So that's another area. And we have good number of medical hospitals and private sector clinics coming up, which can also cater to countries on the eastern frontier. So that's another area which was also talked about in the presentation that holds a lot of prospect. Human resources again is a strength for Northeastern region and same for Manipur. So investment in terms of IT or hospitality sector or in higher education, for example, setting up a university or a skills training institute would be another areas that we could explore. I think apart from that, I would say bamboo is another strength of Manipur. We all grow almost 1/4 of the total production in the country, and the varieties are all, all the major varieties of bamboo would be available there. So that's another, which is a very versatile product, bamboo, and it can have multiple uses. It can be there. So I think these are the sectors, where we can look forward to having cooperation. And then tourism, of course, Manipur is very well connected. It's a direct flight from Delhi to Imphal. And we have almost 15 daily flights from Imphal to different major cities of the country. So connection wise, it's only next to Guwahati in Assam in the Northeast. So that's not a problem. And we look forward to having greater meaningful collaboration in the field of tourism, because that's another strength for the state. So friends, I think these are some of the areas which we think the state has to offer. And of course, this is just a beginning, this B20 meeting. Once you are there, once the guests come to the state and you're there with us for 3 days, you'll get to see the place. And I will look forward that, more meaningful collaboration and engagements in future will come up. So I'll just conclude, and I'd like to extend my thanks to CIA again for inviting us and giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Devesh, for this very elaborate coverage of the program in Manipur, and also the strength and potentials of the state. I would request that the interventions be kept at 8 to 10 minutes. Also, I welcome Mr. Ramesh Babu, who's just come in. I think he's been a very great motivator for all of us. Can I now request Mr. Ashwini Kumar Chand, the Resident Commissioner of the Government of Sikkim, to please give his remarks.
Honorable Minister, Chief Coordinator G20 Harsh Shingla ji, distinguished guests, members on the dais. I stand here and extend my gratitude to CIA for organizing this event and this precursor and giving me an opportunity to be here and speak to you. Sikkim, the original name is Sukhin by the tribes, the original tribe of Sikkim. Sukhin means happy home. So it's geographically on the gateway of Northeast of the seven. There are 8 states. They are called Seven Sisters, and Sikkim is the youngest one, the brother. So this happy home is a place which you can really correlate yourself with. It is geographically having 3 international borders, and in the economic map, it caters to Nepal, the neighboring states, and also to other populations which are coming from other parts of the country in form of tourists and students. It is an educational hub. We have a medical college, we have an engineering college, we have a central university, we have pharma college, we have B.Ed college, we have nursing college. So that's how the education hub is there. Regarding tourism, Sikkim tourism, as Brigadier Ashish has briefed, in last 7 years, we have witnessed triple the population of the state as tourist footfall in the state. We have good number of homestays, which are all available online, and the concept is of Atithi Devo Bhava, that is, every guest is like a god for us, and it's a guest. At the national level, Sikkim has made its presence in the form of one of the destination for pharma industries, and as you can see that we have almost all the major pharma industries which are located in Sikkim, and they are producing the products and they are getting exported also. It's because of the policies and the facilities and the support extended by the local government, the state government, and this has made it as a really success story. The second industry which is there is hydropower industry, where we had received around $4 billion investment, and it is a sparse surplus state. At the global level, Sikkim has made itself as the first organic state, and in 2018, UNFAO Future Policy Gold Award was also awarded to Sikkim for its organic efforts. Apart from that, Sikkim is also known for its rich heritage culture. It is part of one of the ecological hotspots. So let me get back to how this journey reached from a very naive state to a global, with having a global footprint. In fact, the ecology and living with the environment has been the part of living culture of the people there, the tribes there. So our government policies, they are environment centric. So we have a very conscious, we make very conscious effort that all the industries, they are non-polluting industries which are established in the state. That is one part. Second, we were one of the initial states which banned the use of single-use plastic way back in 1999. I'm just mentioning these things because this is just to make you aware that we are conscious about environment since long. And that's how our policies are getting evolved over time. Now we are going to create a international standard center of excellence for Himalayan studies, which will be studying only the environment and criticalities of Himalayan economies or the mountain economies. We are also having a state-of-art hospital facility, and yesterday Cancer Hospital the foundation stone has been laid, which will be again catering to Bhutan, Nepal, and our neighboring state population. So that's how Sikkim looks at itself from a very small area with a very small population having a global outreach. Our working population, they are very, very entrepreneurial. They are working in various countries, right from Hong Kong, Singapore, Burma, New Zealand, Australia, USA, Middle East, Europe. So students and children, they are working in all these countries, and the farmers are exporting their flowers and the organic products to Europe, to Middle East. So these are individual efforts. I think this forum and this support from all of you will help us in creating an institutionalized mechanism to integrate economy and the products of Sikkim with the global market, and also gives you the opportunity to come and have your investment in our state, because it is one of the most peaceful state in entire South Asia. We have a very educated working population. We are amenable to global standards, and we are very much in consonance with the requirements of global needs on organic front. So in this backdrop, I would suggest that the program which has been charted out, we are there to support you for all the needs and they are in place. Rumtek Monastery, Changu Lake is a good place to visit too. I'll request if you could take a day or two out and go to other part of the state, and we'll have experience the real Sikkim in the rural areas. I'd like to conclude myself here, sir, and thank the CIA for giving me the opportunity, and welcome all of you to the state of Sikkim. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Mr. Amjad Tak, the Resident Commissioner of the Government of Mizoram, to please talk about his state. Sir.
Thank you, Brigadier Sir. Honorable Minister, senior officials sitting on the dais, and my dear friends. So I'm here to discuss about the state, a beautiful state called Mizoram. Mizoram is a small state, like all the states of Northeast. As Sir Ashwani Chand Sir has just mentioned that this Sikkim is the most peaceful state of entire Northeast Asia. I can claim that Mizoram is the most peaceful state of India. It's a beautiful state with a population of a very thin population of around 12 to 15 lakh. The population growth is also very less, and the topics which have been decided for discussion on 2nd of March in Aizawl: urban planning, infrastructure, and skill development. So I can again candidly say that Mizoram wants to become Sikkim. So it's a state which is evolving. In 1987, we got statehood, and we have the strength of the state. I can say the people of the state. They're all educated, and almost 98% of population speaks English. They understand English, and younger population is keen to come out of the state, and they are working in various airlines and hospitality industries throughout the world. And in fact, Apollo and other major hospitals have started their institutes in Mizoram, Aizawl, and they're giving training to the younger generation, and we are sending them to Japan and other countries to become nurse and helping hand to the people of Central Asia and Far East Asia. The major strength, I would say again, is the government as well. We have a forward-looking government under the mature leadership of Pujaram Thanga, our Chief Minister. And in fact, he has personally conveyed his gratitude for keeping a meeting there at Aizawl on 2nd of March. And he is looking forward to welcome you all. When we talk about Mizoram, the population, the concentration of population is almost 40 to 50% is in and around Aizawl. We have a younger population residing in and around Aizawl, around 5 to 6 lakh of people. The infrastructure development still is a need. So we are emphasizing in some kind of partnership, global partnership, and with the help of CII, if we can get some kind of infrastructure development in the state. And industries is still, we are not looking much into industrial development because there are reasons behind it. We have industrial park, but it has not came up, up to our expectation. So we are more looking into agriculture and horticulture development. Bamboo production is our main strength. We have major, bamboo production which has not been harvested so far. Government of India has given us, bamboo link road project. They have sanctioned, and almost 100 crore has been, sanctioned recently. So these bamboo link project roads will help us to harvest bamboo which has not been used so far. We are importing bamboo in India, but our own bamboo, which is of high quality, has not been harvested. So we are looking for some kind of industrial support to get that bamboo out of the woods, and maybe some kind of industry which is non-polluting can be set up in Aizawl, in and around Aizawl, with the help of industry and the global community of G20. When we talk about urban planning, we have serious issues with Aizawl city. Aizawl is a small, disciplined city. We have small roads. So there are projects which has already been posed to Government of India at various forum. Ministry of Urban Development is there, and we are getting full support. We need some kind of technical support from G20 community, and maybe CIA can help us in this regard to develop our infrastructure, to develop our roads. We have narrow roads, though the discipline is known to the world that when there is any kind of road blockage, there is no honking at all. Aizawl is a silent city. You will be visiting it, and it is a disciplined population with a younger population to work, and their skill development still is an issue. Government of Mizoram is looking into it. We have the scheme of entrepreneurship development scheme. Under that scheme, we have developed, we have given training to almost 10,000 youngsters. But the skill development is an issue. The people of Mizoram are beautiful. They look good. They are forward looking, and they are ready to come out of their own comfort zone and work in India and various other countries. So we are looking for some kind of active support in this meeting. So we are there to welcome you all. Government of Mizoram is extending his all support to all of you, to the G20 community, to CII, and we are there to help you. And we are looking for a serious, intervention in these topic which has been decided: the infrastructure development, planning, urban planning, and skill development. With all these points, I would like to conclude here, and I would like to convey my gratitude to CIA for inviting us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tak, for an extensive coverage on Mizoram. The Resident Commissioner of Nagaland, Mr. Abhijit Sinha, is online. So I would request Mr. Sinha to please unmute your mic and talk about the program in Nagaland. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Brigadier Ashish. I hope I am audible to. Am I audible?
Yes.
Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, Shri Harsh V. Shringla, Chief Coordinator, with whom we had the good fortune of interacting when he was here in Nagaland in November last year. All the distinguished guests on the dais, my colleagues and good friends from other states who shared their views, and all the distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen who are attending today's program, many virtually also from across the world. I thank you for giving me this opportunity on behalf of the state to speak about the G20, the business meet, which is scheduled on 5th of April in the state in this year. Our state, as in many other northeastern states, geographical wise, it's not so big, about 16,000 kilometers, but as in many other northeastern states, the beauty, the natural beauty which is there, it's simply stunning. And this is what the first impression which is there for anyone who visits Nagaland, these parts for the first time. We understand that the infrastructure on many parameters compared to other states, we still lag. That is because of many reasons also. But many places the state gets spoken because of many other reasons, but I can share with you that crime-wise and in many other parameters, we have the best record. In fact, the crime rate per capita is in the state is one of the lowest in the country. And this part somehow gets missed when people speak about Nagaland and these parts of the Northeast. So we are all geared up for this business meet, which is going to happen from 4 to 6. We have had detailed deliberations also how to go about the program so that people who are coming, actually they're staying, though it is for 3 days, but most of the time is being spent in traveling. So that way, that duration which is being spent is quite less, I would say. But nonetheless, like the way we have designed our program, the maximum thing that the good things that we can show about our state that we have lined up. On 4th, they arrive. They have to make a journey from Dimapur to Kohima, which is about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. And on that day, of course, like it will be mostly checking in, but we have kept a welcome dinner on that day. And there also we plan to showcase the state's culture, which is quite rich and diverse, by having a small program on that day also. And on the next day, the main day when this meet takes place, then after that in the evening, what if many would be aware also, a lot of people from other countries, we also get this Hornbill Festival, which we have every year in the month of December, the first week for 10 days. So that we are going to recreate at the very same venue where we have it. So that is in a place called Kisama Heritage Village, which is about 20 minutes from Kohima. So in the evening, we have kept that because we would have loved the people who are visiting to go to other parts of the state, but then geography and terrain is such that they went a lot of time to go to those places and come back. So we are trying to recreate the say sort of the entire Nagaland, what we can show in that mini hornbill. So just as we have in the main hornbill, this entire thing will, the entire complex will make it live. All the tribes of Nagaland who participate during the hornbill with their showcasing their cultural things, that will do. And then all the business meet also, which we are having on that day in the evening also with the industries department, like whatever strengths Nagaland have. As I noticed that basically it is targeted towards this organic and allied agriculture and allied. So that is in fact the forte of Nagaland. Sikkim may be the one which is leading in terms of organic. They have made, I think, their agriculture entirely 100%. We are not 100%, but we are also 70 to 80%. And we are also trying to reach that stage. Whatever products, agriculture products that we have here is entirely organic, 70 to 80%. And there are many exotic type of fruits and other vegetables which have got GI. They have been the geographical indicators, I mean, that they have got. So like Naga chili, and there are some other products also. So there are a lot of places and products which are still unexplored, and great opportunity exists in this sector for moving ahead. We don't say that a lot of things have been achieved, but we start from a small base. But given the tremendous potential, I think the business delegates who are coming, especially from this sector, food and food processing, and who have this with agriculture as a background of their business, I think we are trying to work on that. And in this meet and in the evening also in a program, we'll try to showcase all that and get people understand that this is area where they can really invest. I mean, people can invest, think of, and our products already, like whatever small we have done, they've already managed to capture some niche markets in the country and other places also. So there are other products also to be looked into, and if that could be harnessed properly, I think we have great potential in that. And another sector where our state can do a lot, that is tourism. We do get tourists, many during the Hornbill, but here also we can really grow up a lot. It's not that any particular spot in Nagaland is good. The entire terrain, the entire landscape is such, which is quite stunning. And everywhere people can come for leisure tourism. There are quite a few people come, but the numbers are not, which is there, which matches the which come to other states like Sikkim and maybe Meghalaya also. But that may be because of a bit of lack of infrastructure, like we have some hotels and homestays, but not in that many numbers so that we can attract so many. But once we do that, I think there is no reason why our state also can't get so many tourists. So this is another sector, tourism, where we would like the delegates, though it is mostly towards the organic and agriculture, but I think tourism industry, tourism sector, with that bent of mind also, if the delegates can have a look and see if they can think of course, the delegates more like if they can popularize in their own countries about Nagaland, but others also if in some form they can invest also in tourism sector, mostly in building of infrastructure, so that this sector will also we can gain. So other things, there were one or two issues regarding the meeting, regarding the road and other things we're looking into. That was noticed by the team also which had come. So that we are sure of. There were some issues like the road from Kohima to Dimapur. The remarks were made that it has some work has to be done so that it becomes better than what it is right now. So work on that is going on. I don't think that will be an issue at all. And that was only to start with, a small portion was bad, so that we're taking care of. So we are all there to welcome, and some other things also which were required to be done, we've started doing. And I think anyone who becomes a part of this delegate and come and see our state, I think they won't go back disappointed. I think they will carry back very fond memories. And we are really looking forward to it. And we are thankful for choosing Kohima as one of the destinations for the G20, one of the business meet. And thanks CIO also for the opportunity of giving an opportunity to talk to you all and sharing the views. And we look forward to meeting all the delegates who will reach Nagaland on 4th. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sinha, for bringing out the strengths and possibilities in Nagaland. Let me now invite Mr. Mukesh Pardesi, the officer on special duty looking after operations in the G20 Secretariat for India, to deliver the special address. Over to you.
Honorable Minister of State of External Affairs, Dr. R.R. Singh Ji, Ambassador Harsh Shringla, G20 Chief Coordinator, all dignitaries on the dais, resident commissioners from Manipur, Sikkim, Mizoram, and Nagaland, representatives from G20 missions, and friends. I'm so happy that CII, which is B20 Sherpa for India G20 presidency, is organizing this Precursor meeting to brief member countries and others on our initiatives in northeastern states in India. My own personal and civil service association with the Northeast began in 2010 when I was appointed India Chief Passport Officer. Those days, we had only one passport office in Guwahati. As part of the Passport Seva project, I led the transformation of the passport services. And by the time I left in 2016, we had Passport Seva Kendra in each of northeastern states. So I'm very fond of my association with northeastern states. Those days, I toured extensively and interacted with the leadership and the civil society there. So here again, I'm very happy that as part of the G20 presidency, we have decided to cover all states and UTs in India, including all states in Northeast. Today's discussion is focusing on 4 states, but I would like to inform you that there will be programs in Assam, principally in Guwahati, where we have a Sustainable Finance Working Group meeting happening in February. There'll be Youth 20 Inception meeting happening in Guwahati, once again in February. There is a Supreme Audit 20 Inception meeting, once again in Guwahati in March. There'll be second Employment Working Group meeting in Guwahati. We have already covered the Gangtok, but in Gangtok, apart from B20 meeting, there is one more meeting scheduled in March, Startup 20 side meeting. We have Science 20 meeting in Dibrugarh. We have Science 20 event in Agartala. We have Space 20 Inception meeting planned in Shillong. So you would see that our intention is to cover all northeastern states. This planning is inspired by the government's vision to make G20 as people's movement. We have a Jan Bhagidari approach towards our presidency. Jan Bhagidari in English would mean public participatory approach towards a diplomatic event. And how do we bring diplomatic events to the grassroots? By conducting meetings and bringing you, representatives of member countries, to these places. Apart from these meetings, we are organizing University Connect programs. So there'll be academic programs in all universities in Northeast, coinciding with some of the business and other meetings happening there. Presentation has been made on the hospitality and organizational aspects of conducting meetings in Northeast. I would like to add that apart from charter flights, board and lodging, and cultural and excursion program, we have taken care that international delegates will be attending these meetings. They are given a gratis visa. So your delegates will be attending. Once they get invitation later from CII or other organizers, they can approach our embassy or they can apply online for complimentary visa. What do we expect from states? And I'm so happy that resident commissioners are personally here. We all know that there are infrastructural and logistical challenges in Northeast, but this is a golden opportunity to come up to the expectations of our participating delegates. Particular care should be taken care not only in the road connectivity, but also the internet support for conduct of the meeting is one area I would like to highlight for your attention. We are in touch with the telecom authorities, but there's nothing like the state government directly intervening and taking up. You were present in Delhi. Please take it up with the telecom authorities so that the internet speed and the scale is upgraded for the conduct of meetings. I would like to assure all support from the G20 Secretariat to CII and the missions representatives. If you have any difficulty, if you find regarding participation, visa, or for that matter, any clarification, the team from the G20 Secretariat, they are here and they'll be very happy to interact with you and clarify some of the issues. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity to come here and interact with you. Thank you very much and all the best to CII.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pardesi. Thank you for covering all the operational aspects of the B20 events in Northeast, and also thank you for your support and the assurances. We'll fall back on you for any help that we require, sir. Can we now request Mr. Harshvardhan Singla, the Chief Coordinator for India's G20 presidency, to please deliver his special address. Over to you, sir.
Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs, Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh ji, Shri Pradeep Bagla, Co-Chairman of CII Northeast Council, my colleague Ambassador Bhuktesh Pardesi, who is Officer on Special Duty at the G20 Secretariat, our colleagues, resident commissioners of Northeastern states who joined us both in person and virtually. I'm so happy to see so many of our friends from the diplomatic corps here, and we really appreciate your interest both in the G20 and in particular events that we are hosting in the northeastern part of our country. We're also very happy that many of our ambassadors and representatives from our missions are joining us virtually, and then we're also joined, I believe, by representatives of the state governments from the northeastern states. So I think we have a fair amount of outreach in this session. My colleagues were really the people who would work closely in partnership with the CII, led by Joint Secretary Sri Ramesh Babu, but also Colonel Piyush Shukla and Colonel W.D. Singh. This is the core of people who are really overseeing our participation in many events across the country, but in this context, the Northeast. And of course, we're very grateful to the CII, in particular, Sri Sujit Haridas, Deputy Director General, Brigadier Bhattacharya of the CII, for really coming forward to host so many events in the northeastern part of our country. Now, I think in the course of the morning, you've got a fairly extensive rundown of what it means to organize these meetings in the Northeast, the program, the substantive content, the logistical aspects of it. And so you have, I think, all the information that you need. I just wanted to highlight a few brief points. One, of course, is that our presidency has got off to a good start. We've hosted some 6 meetings in 4 different locations. As we speak, we're hosting the 5th meeting in Pune. I think it's the infrastructure development meeting, which is I think also currently in progress. And we'll pick up the pace. And as we go along in February, we'll have many more meetings and until we reach the summit in September. Now, the focus of today's meeting is, of course, to brief you on the Northeast. And I think Ambassador Muktesh Pardesi has already mentioned to you that what we're looking at is 4 events in the Northeast being organized by CII. But we also have many other events in the northeastern part of our country being, which are of different working and engagement groups, and we will separately inform you of those. As far as the B20 is concerned, I think there is a great deal of interest that business is going to the Northeast, that, the Northeast today has the expectation, the potential to receive those business interests with a level of seriousness. I listened very carefully to each of our resident commissioners, and each of them, I think, have highlighted, the potentialities in the state and how they look at the G20, B20 meetings, rather, with the level of commitment that I think will make it worthwhile for many of our delegates who are traveling from across the world, from G20 countries, invitee countries, international organizations, to attend meetings in our northeastern states. And of course, it's important to note that we will make it as smooth as possible, as we will facilitate your visits to the Northeast as much as possible. So it is really a back-to-back arrangement. From the time that delegates, G20 delegates land at any international airport in India, we will make sure that you are then sort of in our care. And whether it is flights to the Northeast, whether it is hospitality, whether it is the program, whatever, and of course, your interactions, we will make sure that those arrangements are met. And the CII has done an outstanding job in already creating the ground for these meetings, and the Secretariat is happy to back them up wherever required. In terms of, I think, we are, again, very happy that so many of our colleagues in the diplomatic corps are here. From your perspective, what you should know, of course, is that delegates, G20 delegates, I think we would like to have as many as possible attending these meetings. In some places, there's a capacity constraint, so we have a slight constraint, but the idea is to have as much of our representation from the G20 and invitee countries as possible. And we will work closely with you in facilitating this. We also would be very happy to have ambassadors, deputies, trade representatives, anyone from the diplomatic community who wants to go in and avail of this opportunity, please join us. What is the advantage of doing that? I think one, of course, is very evident. The states involved is going to put the best face forward. So you will have the best arrangements in place. You will have the ability to engage with the chief ministers, the entire, political leadership of the states. You will also have central ministers who will be, as Brigadier Bhattacharya mentioned, will also be there. So you will have opportunities for very serious one-to-one engagements. You will have businesses. I think our business representatives from the region will also be there. So there'll be, clearly some serious business engagements. And of course, you will have the opportunity to see these states in a manner that, I would say would be very unique. We heard about the Hornbill Festival. We heard about what Sikkim is doing, what Nagaland is doing, what Mizoram is doing, and all the different northeastern states are doing to ensure that your exposure to their states is a unique one. As we said, we want to host an impeccable and uniquely Indian G20 presidency. And but the idea is that wherever we have G20 meetings, you should get the flavor of the region to which you're going. So if you're in Nagaland, you must avail of Naga cuisine. If you're in Mizoram, you must see the folk dance and cultures of Mizoram. If you're, of course, in Sikkim, you must sample organic farming. And if you're in Manipur, you must be able to see the home of polo, and you must be able to see the Loktak Lake. And I must say that Honorable Minister of State, Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh, he's from the Northeast himself, from the state of Manipur. He has been at the forefront of our Act East and neighborhood first policies. We've had the opportunity to work closely under his guidance, and he has always looked at the Northeast as a launching pad for the Ministry of External Affairs' outreach to our neighbors and to the east of India. I've had the opportunity to go to all of the states except Mizoram, which I'm visiting shortly with my colleagues in the Secretariat. We've had extensive engagements with the chief ministers, chief secretaries, the officials. And I think it's very evident that you have the highest level support for the B20 events in these states. And I also was very fortunate that when I went to Imphal, the Honorable Minister himself invited me home, and we got some of his guidance. So I think we are in good hands. You are in good hands. And when you go to the Northeast, you will have an experience that I don't think you could be able to get in the normal course. So please do keep your calendars open, and please do join us and encourage your participants and your delegates to make this journey, which would be very, very satisfying from all accounts, that I'm sure of. So thank you so very much, and all the best to CII in hosting these wonderful events. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shingla, for your special address. And we are grateful to you for helping CII to get past most of our obstacles coming in the way, and organizing the meetings and creating the ecosystem for the delegates to have a really seamless, happy experience in planning all the events in the Northeast. With this, gentlemen, we come to a portion where we plan to hand over the delegates' handbook to all of you. So towards this, we would be releasing the handbook, which is specifically made for the Northeast events. Can I request the Honorable Minister to please unveil the document? And just to inform all of you, on your tables, you will have the QR code for downloading it online. Thank you very much, sir. Today, we are fortunate to have amongst us Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh, the Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs. His commitment to the Northeast and the initiatives that he has taken to bring up and to take Northeast into the mainstream of the country is really praiseworthy. Can I now request Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh to please deliver his keynote address?
Chief Coordinator for India's G20 presidency, Shri Harshvardhan Shringla ji, and a colleague from Ministry of External Affairs, the resident commissioners of Manipur, Sikkim, Mizoram, and Nagaland, and colleagues from the Confederations of India, industry and industry members, friends from media, distinguished participant, namaskar, a good afternoon. Let me start off by thanking the Confederation of Indian Industry for organizing these precursor meetings designed to give the delegates an in-depth detail regarding the 4 business 20 meetings scheduled to be hosted in northeastern region of India as a part of India's G20 presidency. Our Northeast is uniquely beautiful. Our hospitality is legendary. We look forward to welcoming all the B20 delegates. We look forward to give you a glimpse of Northeast India, including the business opportunities there. Presidency of G20 is a moment of pride for us. It is momentous. It is momentous as it gives us an opportunity to proactively contribute to shaping the agenda and outcomes. It is momentous as India's presidency comes at a critical juncture as we emerge from the pandemic. Just to highlight one, this pandemic has forced us to relook at the existing global supply chains, work towards securing supply chains through diversification and resorting from unforeseen shocks. So the question remains, in Northeast India, well placed to leverage this opportunity. I strongly believe we are. My Prime Minister believes we are. Else, we would not be calling the Northeast to be the new engine of growth for India. Honorable Prime Minister, unique initiatives like Prime Minister's Development Initiative for Northeastern Region, that is PM Dev Divine, showcases the importance being attached to the development of Northeastern region by the government. These initiatives are over and above the fact that over the last 8 years, number of airports in the region has jumped from 9 to 16. The number of flights connecting the region have increased from 900 before 2014 as around 1,900 today. Many northeastern states have come to Indian railway maps for the first time. Efforts are being made to expand the waterways also. The length of national highways has increased by 50% since 2014. Northeast India is India's gateway to Southeast India. We will have seamless land connectivity with the heart of ASEAN and beyond once the India-Myanmar-Thailand trilateral highway is completed. We are continuously working for seamless land and rail connectivity with Bangladesh. The Northeast today can be seen in the center of a potentially dynamic region of the world, surrounded by ASEAN, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, and of course, mainland North India. It is this that business should consider and explore option in the northeast of India. Our youths from the northeast serve as the backbone in the initial heydays of business process outsourcing boom in India. Our youth today play a critical role in hospitality and caregiving sector across India. We have rich human resource base. They will grow your business for you in the Northeast and beyond. Friends from the business community, Northeast is front and center to our political leadership today. Northeast offer immense but relatively unexplored market opportunities today. Being in Northeast will offer your businesses opportunity to survive, to service markets of the three South Asian nations, the ASEAN, and of course, mainland India. B20 event in the Northeast will give you a unique platform to know Northeast, examine opportunities in Northeast from close quarters. Use this platform to start a conversations to be the fast mover. 10 years down, I am assured, or I can assure you that you will not regret. Once again, I thank the CII for this initiative, but however, I would also add some more things when Mr. Mukesh K. Pradesi mentioned about the academic communities. Perhaps if possible, Northeast India is one of the mega biodiversity hotspots region. Is a confluence of the three main streams of species, the migrations, Southeast Asia, and the Tibetans, and the mainland India. These are the confluence zone. So we have, you may think on this background, if there is any possibility of promoting green economy. For example, no, I belongs to Manipur. I know Manipur more than but of course I also have the sense of the other other remaining states of the Northeast India. In Manipur alone, we have more than 400 orchid species, and Sikkim is pioneer for the exporting the orchids, and then more than 200 rice cultivar is found in Manipur. If you add all throughout the Northeast India, there may be many more rice cultivar that also we may think it for another prospect of business. Even only in Manipur, you will find 166 freshwater species. Some of them are aquarium qualities, and more than 86 Gingiberraceae families are found in Manipur. If you tally it or the whole Northeast, there will be more. Then about the bamboo, alone in Manipur, we have about more than 60 species of bamboo. If you add all together in the Northeastern India, there are many, many more species are found. Then we have the Cultural University, Agricultural University, and National Sports Universities are coming up. So keeping this on the background, CII may look further and also may add some more things. We look forward to welcoming all of you in Northeast, thanking you for all for patient hearing. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh, for sparing your valuable time and being with us and attending this precursor meeting. This shows your commitment to the Northeast, and we are sure with your push, the economic and social development of the region is bound to come around. Thank you once again, sir. Moving on, we would get into an interactive session. So if there are any questions that any one of you have, please let us know. But before I come to this hall, can I request, I think we have ambassador, our Indian ambassador in Indonesia also online. So can I request in case he has any comments or he wants to ask a question? Okay, the house is open to questions. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Partha Pratim Das.
Just a minute, please. Just a minute.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. I don't know if okay, let me stand up, sir. Sorry. Honorable Minister of State, sir. Thank you very much for your presence here. Chief Coordinator for India G20 Presidency. Yeah, thank you, sir. And then the co-chairman CII Northeast Council. And all delegates on the dais and colleagues participants are present. My name is Jacob Hosford. I am from the High Commission of Nigeria. Just to make a few observations, particularly two observations. We've taken note of the programs itself, and then we're taking note also how generous the Northeast session would want delegates to enjoy their presence, their on the journey in the Northeast. However, I will just want to state how we can see the whole programs being participant-friendly, because I was privileged to be in such movements like this. We are at a point because of the show of generosity. Let me say, I was tired of movements and seeing things. I will want a situation where we concentrate on the substance of the meeting. Like if we have the meeting maybe in a center, all such program could be concentrated, we discuss substance. Then the issue of moving around to places, which is the part that makes one so tired, because we see here, we have about close to 9 meetings within the Northeast, within the period of this movement. We're trying to see how that could be appetizing so that one will be happy to go again if the meeting is concentrated on the substance. Having it in a center, we discuss the issue. Then the aspect of moving here and there could be made optional. Now, having said so, sir, my second observation is that I also went through the program itself, and the areas of discussions were very specific. And I will also pray that while we are discussing, the participating countries may be given the chance to speak about their potentials, which I believe could be built into the discussion itself. From what I've seen so far too, in my experience, most times we, the diplomatic missions, most times we don't have the chance for our country to be heard. What are our potentials? What can we contribute in the meeting? In terms of when we're talking about this issue now, we're talking purely on investment. What are the potential of these countries? So I think in designing the program of these events, space also should be open for participating countries, invited countries, to be able to say their potentials, which I believe could be built also into the discussions on the agenda. Thank you very much, sirs. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. While designing the program, we also wanted the diplomatic corps to be familiarized with the diverse aspects of India. So there's a viewpoint that we could have had it in one place so that there's not much movement. But the movement is the essence of knowing a country. And I, having served as ambassador in 2 countries, there was no opportunity more exciting for a serving ambassador than to go to interior areas. But for the governmental support, we would not explore the country in its full richness and diversity. So we are taking advantage of the G20 presidency to invite the diplomatic corps and your delegates to see for themselves different places, different towns in the country, which normally they are not covered in other meetings and summits. So far as, the B20 is an engagement group. And as you are associated with the G20 presidency as a special invitee country, you will see there will be several events where Nigeria or any other delegation will get opportunity to promote its own ideas and also promote the investment opportunities in Nigeria. I believe CII has planned more than 100 events throughout the year, which will also culminate into a big trade fair in November, where the G20 countries will have special attention. So, friend, you will get opportunity. So far as the G20 track is concerned, as an invitee country, your delegation will get full participation to contribute to the G20 intergovernmental process. Here we are on the engagement track, and B20 is an engagement. And by all means, when you are participating in the 4 meetings in Northeast, you and your representative or your country delegation will get an opportunity while discussions are going on to add to the narrative and generate awareness about Nigeria and its economic potential.
Thank you so much, sir. As you know, we have got a very strong presence of the diplomatic community over here as well as online. So I would invite questions from them and comments from both the sides, people who are here as well as online. So if there is anyone who's online, please let us know. You can unmute your mic and just give us a warning. For the next comment or question, anyone, please. Yes, sir.
Thank you, honorable ministers, honorable chief communicators, and also OSD from the MEA, and also gentlemen from CII. My name is Charles. I'm from Indonesian Embassy. So again, I would like to thank you for organizing this event, and it's a very interesting event to have at least a glimpse of India, especially Northeast, in which we've done also during our previous presidency last year, where we invited to most of the cities in Jakarta. So in line with this event, I know that CII has invited a lot of member countries and also the invitees to attend a lot of events. The Gandhinagar is the next one. And to be specific in this event, how will the CII invite the member countries? Like for instance, in Indonesia, it's with Kadin, because I know the CII event itself and the B20 itself, there's a lot of events. And we, the embassies, we are trying to urge them to come to India, even for the inceptions for the B20s. But as you know, the business people from all over the world, the schedules and everything, they have a very tight schedules. And to convince them to come to the events on the B20, to be specific in India. So I would like to know, how's the CII approach for an instance in our countries to Kadin? How will you convince them? Because I believe that this program is interesting, but again, business people, they have all their schedules by themselves. And if us embassies attending this event, I don't know if the impact will be more impactful than having all the business people coming to Northeast, because hearing on the targets of these events are for the business people itself. Thank you.
The CII is primarily working through our MOU partner in G20 countries because we have the Apex chambers and industry association in those countries as our MOU partners. So we are working with those industry chambers to arrange visit of business delegations. That is one way we are doing it. Second, we will be reaching out to our embassies, our missions abroad, and the diplomatic missions here. We will come to you after this event today and seek your support in giving a global outreach into your country, more publicity about this event. So in case if some companies or some businessmen, we are unable to reach through our contacts by your trade promotion organization, we would like to give more publicity to these events. So primarily, this is the way that we are planning to promote. And of course, we are also looking for delegations to come. And if any country would like to organize delegation, CI would be happy to provide necessary support, including the B2B meetings can be organized in other cities as well for the delegation who are coming for this programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Charles, for a very good question. Any more questions can I have? Yes, sorry.
Yeah, my name is Partha Pratim Das. I'm professional marketing consultant. I had a consulting firm in the space of market entry and technology transfer. Just because business event, I mean B20, Business 20, along with sightseeing or maybe excursions, business communities might be interested to visualize the instances over there. Maybe success stories in terms of local manufacturing, successful entrepreneurs, meeting with them, synchronizing with the theme of the state or the event that we're talking about. Now, this is something which I feel will be meaningful to them. I'd like to know your view on its inclusion in the agenda. Thank you.
Mr. Partho, I think we are already catered for it. We are having B2Bs and B2Bs on the sidelines of the main meeting. For that, we have made adequate arrangements in that place.
I referred about manufacturing facilities. As we are having south sightseeing, I think along with that, like MAPRO in Maharashtra, in Mahabaleshwar, we have MAPRO. Now, now if somebody goes over there, he will get an integrated picture from farming to process. MAPRO garden, maybe Shilpgram. I'm actually coming up with that thing. That's creative oriented way of bringing this forward.
Sure, so we'll look at it, what within the possibilities. Any other questions? Someone?
Good afternoon. My name is Gauri, and I'm from the other side. I represent an agency called TUS, which is an advertising and communications agency. We generally help corporates shake down their CSR budgets to facilitate CSR changes that actually matter. My question to you is that all of my clients are high-level corporates like the Big Four or MNCs in Gurgaon, and they're really trying to make a change, especially in the Northeast. I have a very basic question. How do I have the business proposals ready. There are people in infratech, there are people in telecom who are trying to get to the remote areas. How do I get it done? I mean, what is the process to get into it? I'm not a delegate, neither am I in contact with anyone. So from a completely professional and corporate environment, people who are in Gurgaon or people who are in the Silicon Valley, let's say, but are Indian by nature, how do I get them to the Northeast? And especially to all of these industries?
Yeah, I think at the end of it, we can get in touch and take this forward. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this. And I think we are running out of time. If there are no more questions from here. So can I now request Mr. Sujit Haridas, the Deputy Director General of Confederation of Indian Industries, then please give the vote of thanks and the closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh, Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs, Government of India, for his presence here today. We are confident that with the support of the Ministry of External Affairs, the G20 Secretariat, and the Northeast state governments, the B20 programs in Northeast will be a great success. Our special thanks to Mr. Harshvir Shrinkla, Chief Coordinator for India's G20 presidency, for his gracious presence here today. Our thanks to Ambassador Muktesh Kepadeshi, OST G20 Operations, for his address today, joining us today, sir. Our special thanks to Mr. Ramesh Babu, Joint Secretary from the G20 Secretariat, Mr. Devesh Deval, Resident Commissioner Manipur, Mr. Ashwini Kumar Chand, Resident Commissioner Sikkim, Mr. Amjad Tag, Resident Commissioner Mizoram, and Mr. Abhijit Sinha, Home Commissioner, Government of Nagaland, for briefing the participants today regarding the arrangements being made by the state governments for the proposed B20 meeting in your respective states. I would like to thank senior officials from the diplomatic missions for joining us today, and also senior officials from the multilateral and bilateral organizations, from MNCs who are looking at investing or looking at opportunity in Northeast, for joining us today. So before I conclude, once again, request all of you to go through the delegate handbook. You can, those who have not received it, you can download it using the QR code or contact the registration desk. All the registration procedures are detailed there. And once again, request each one of you to consider participating, and our team from CI is there to help you. Any information which you require, our contact informations are also available in the delegate handbook. Once again, thank you very much for joining. Thank you, sir.